Welcome to another Gopher Hole podcast. I am Nadine Babu and I'm your host. And I am joined today by someone that you probably are familiar with. He may be the first Gopher to get drafted in the first round since Chris Humphreys. And I'd like to welcome Daniel Oturu. Hi, Dan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for making time with all your draft preparations and everything. You've obviously been a joy to watch the last 2 years, and I guess I just kind of want to talk about your Gopher playing days and how you ended up being here and staying home. And obviously, let's start with the draft stuff. So this is obviously a really odd time to enter the draft. So first of all, what made you decide to go, and who were the people that you talked to the most? And what kind of advice did they give you?
Basically, what made me decide to enter the draft was I saw an opportunity after this year where I could really chase my dream of playing in the NBA, and I felt like that based off the season that I had in the Big Ten, I felt like this was the right time for me to go. Um, you know, Going through the process, I talked to my parents a lot, almost every day about it. Um, my my old high school coach assistant, Coach Asbeck, and basically trying to garner as much information as possible based on what's the right choice for me. I also talked to my AAU coordinator Renee Pulley because he's been a really big help in my life too, even before I got to the U. And so just trying to get the best advice as possible from all these everyone that's in kind of like my little circle, and we felt like this was the best decision for me to enter the draft this year.
Obviously, you had two phenomenal years and are on, have been ranked very highly on everything. But were there any reservations you had or anything where you're like, hey, I want to go back and, take the Gophers to the Final Four? Or was there any little bit of you that wanted to stay?
Yeah, of course. Just being from Minnesota, I live in Woodbury, so that's like 25 minutes from campus. And so I a part of me was like, not even just a little bit, a lot of me was like, maybe I should go back, play another year. Um, just because I felt like I knew I was gonna miss playing at the barn and playing with my teammates and in front of like the home state. And so that was basically one of the couple reasons that I was like, maybe I should go back to school. Um, but ultimately, I just felt like this was the best time for me again, and so it's been a while since I declared. So I think I've had a lot of time to think about it, and I think I'm at peace with my decision.
Yeah, it's not as fresh in your mind because now you're like getting ready for the draft. So tell me
Yeah.
tell me what you've been doing the last couple of months and how much this pandemic has affected, being able to work out with teams and people seeing you and all those kind of things.
Yeah, being able to work out for teams has been hard because obviously with this global pandemic, not a lot of things are going on athletic wise around the country or even around the world, quite frankly. So um, with this going on, just being patient and waiting my time to be able to work out for teams and seeing what the situation starts looking like hopefully soon here and how everything is going and how everybody's handling the coronavirus, because the first and foremost, most important thing is you want everybody to be safe. You don't want anybody to get sick. You don't want anybody to be in danger. So staying safe is the biggest and most important thing for everybody here in the United States. And so, a lot of things can wait. The safety of people are more important. And so, uh, me personally, the agency I'm under, they send me workouts that I could be doing at home. So that's basically what I've been doing for this like past month and a half. And so, doing my workouts, trying to stay in shape as much as possible, and just being patient.
Do you have a home gym at all, or what kind of workouts have you been doing?
I don't have a home gym, but it's more these workouts are more of like strengthening workouts for my shoulders and legs and stuff like that.
Okay. Kind of going back to the process of when you were declaring, how did you select your agent? What went into that, and what were you looking for?
Someone that I could trust, someone that I knew that had a lot of unique experience in this type of business, and that's someone that's well respected in around with the NBA community. And I just felt like my agent Kevin Bradbury fit all those like expectations, and also someone my parents could trust. My parents trust him, and I trust him, and my Coach Yaz and Renee Pulley trust him, and so if they're if my parents and those two other guys, my Renee and Coach Yaz trust him, then I definitely have no problem with trusting them either because those are the people I look for
Yeah.
advice, and we all felt like he'd be a good choice.
Did your Howard Pulley coaches have any kind of say in that? Did they guide you in any way? Because obviously, when you're going through this for the first time, it's like, what exactly do you do, and who do you pick, and everything?
They just gave me like I would ask questions and they would give me answers on the questions based off the questions I'm asking. Not really trying to guide me towards somebody to particularly sign with, but just like to give me like the best general idea on like um who would be the smartest choice, this and that, who has experience putting guys in the best situations in the NBA, like
Mhm.
stuff like that. And so I kind of just gathered all the information I could and made my decision.
What, with everything that you're seeing, predicting draft numbers and things like that, and what people are telling you, where are you expecting to go?
I'm expecting to go somewhere in the first round. There's nothing less than that, honestly, because that's just the expectation. I'm a first round talent. I'm a first round player. It's just a matter of like where in the first round am I going? You know,
Mhm.
I don't really think I'm gonna fall to the second round because I don't see myself as a second round draft pick. Um, so just somewhere in the first round is my expectation, and that's what I'm looking forward towards.
Yeah. What are the next steps now? I mean, what are they telling you as far as being able to get workouts in and everything? Obviously, staying safe, but you've got some time before this. Have you had any indicators that they're going to be doing some smaller kind of things, or for teams to be able to check you out?
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that I've been hearing about. We're just depending on like if the NBA season is canceled or not, and basically trying to wait and see. Like we're still trying to see and get as much information as possible on what exactly the NBA is trying to do.
Right, right. Kind of going back to starting out with your recruiting process, I guess I want to know, was there a certain moment where you were just like, I want to be a Gopher, or how convinced were you that you wanted to stay home the whole time, or were there other schools that you really thought about going to? And was your recruiting process fun or was it stressful?
Um, it was cool. It wasn't stressful. It was really unique. I um I enjoyed, like getting calls from schools that I never thought I would get calls from. I thought that was really a big blessing. I can thank God for that. And so, um, one thing, one thing that really, I don't know how to say it, but one thing that really like changed my whole perspective was like, yeah, I know exactly where I want to go. I want to go to the U and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. My dad and I took a unofficial visit to Nebraska. Uh, with Tim Miles was
Hmm.
the head coach. Yep,
Yep.
at the time, and my dad loved it. Loved the campus. Loved all their facilities. Felt like it was a good situation to come into. You know, and I'm sitting there like I'm like I liked it too. It was a good unofficial visit. But at the time I'm so young. I think I'm like 16, 17. I'm like, yeah, they're cool and all, good school, but they're not even sponsored by Nike.
You're like, what kind of school is this?
Yeah, so I'm sitting there like I was that's what I it was me and my dad were arguing on the ride back home about going to school and worried about the apparel. I was sitting there like I don't well I was like I don't think I can go to a school that's not sponsored by Nike because at the time I was like, um, at the time I was like, I really like at the time I was playing for High Pulley. My high school sponsored by Nike, and I just never wore Adidas stuff before.
Mm,
Nothing wrong with Adidas at all. You know, Adidas is a great brand. You know, they're nationally recognized, globally recognized. Excuse me, but you know, I just never really wore um, Adidas shoes or Adidas gear and stuff like that. I've always known Nike. So back then, now I think about it, that was a that was a really funny conversation. That obviously didn't have any like, well, I'm not gonna lie, a little partial like in the back of my mind, like on when I was choosing a school, like you look good, you feel good, right? I want to
yeah.
look good in some Nikes, and now I think about it, you know, like honestly, like not saying I would go to if I were to do my recruiting process, get out, go to Nebraska, but if the U was, I just now think about it, if the U was sponsored by Adidas, I still probably would have went to the U too. So
Hmm.
is that doesn't really have effect. That was just another like that was just a funny little memory I had from that recruiting trip.
I love that. So basically, we're gonna tell we're gonna tell Nike that you're up for an endorsement, that you're open to it, that you'd really like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So besides being able to stay home, why else did you want to be here? I mean, was it a certain coach you connected to? Was it just having your family be able to watch you? What are other things that really appeal to you about staying home at Minnesota?
Yeah, definitely. So I had so when I first got my scholarship offer from the U, it was my sophomore year. I had got back to my hotel room. I was in a car. I was in a car. We was on a car ride back to my hotel room, and I was sitting there talking to Theo John. If you
Yep.
remember who Theo John is, yeah, Theo
Mhm.
at Marquette. Theo John. I'm telling him like, man, I need this Gopher offer. I need this Gopher offer bad, like, so I can like really like not because I think they were my first big school that offered me, which was really important to me because um at the time, what do you call it? Trey Jones got an offer from Minnesota. Had an offer from Minnesota. I'm sitting like he's not going there. Like he's going to Duke, 100%. I already knew he was out of the question.
Yeah.
And then Gabe and Race Thompson had offers from the U. And so I was sitting like, when's mine coming? Like, when's mine coming? Like, I'm out here killing. Like, what's up? And I got back to the hotel room. Coach Pitino finally called me and gave me an offer from the scholarship offer. That was crazy. After that, it was like boom. I started talking to Ben Johnson, who's a coach at Xavier now.
Hmm.
I started talking to Ben Johnson like almost every day. When the school year started for me, he would pull up to my school sometimes, check up on me and stuff like that. And um, during like the not to like get anyone in trouble or anything like that. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but during like um I don't know times that he was allowed to come in my school.
Yes. The.
Yeah, like you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, like not like just randomly, but he was just somebody that I connected with so much, and I really like I really felt like talking to him all the time. I really felt like there was just it was just a really good connection there, and I was talking to like the other recruits, like me and Gabe too, and we all had the same feelings about him too. We were all like we just love talking to Ben. Ben's a good guy, and Ben Johnson, like he was just a great dude that I was connected to, and I was really bummed out when he left before I even got to go there. Like right this
Mhm.
summer going into my freshman year, he took the job at Xavier, so I was really bummed out. But then I started connecting more with Ed Conroy, and I call Ed Conroy Uncle Ed now because he's my guy, and he's also like that great. We have that great relationship, and I feel like I can call him with any type of question I have, at any time of the night, any time of the day, and he'll pick it up and give me a solid answer back. And so he's just those two guys,
Mhm.
and even like those two guys are just like really good guys that I connected with, and then it was even more comfortable when I got to school, and like Coach Ryan Livingston is like he's always he's another assistant coach on the team. He's the ops guy. He
Hmm.
love that dude. He's always on you about going to class, making sure everybody getting food. Just he does a lot of stuff for the program that goes under goes under the wire, flies under the radar,
Hmm.
and he should get a lot more appreciation for as well. Just those three guys
Yeah.
kind of just tied in, came in at the right times too. Like when Johnson came and recruited me, then he left, and Ed came in, stuck with me, and then I got to campus and Coach Liv took care of me and everybody else.
What's some of the best advice or something that Ed Conroy taught you?
Um, he always taught me that. He always told me that there's always he always he always not really that he taught, but he always believed in me and he always believed in my abilities.
Hmm.
He always he always he never doubted me. He always every game he always thought I was the best player on the court and he always told me to go play like it. And he just always believed in what I could do on the basketball court. And
Hmm.
I was always so willing to learn from him because he always was ready to teach me stuff during practice all the time too. And I just learned a lot as a basketball player. I grew a lot from my freshman year to my sophomore year, mostly because of him,
Hmm.
of him teaching me certain things about the game. And it's amazing to me because with all the stuff he's taught me, I still think I'm pretty raw, and I still have a lot more stuff to learn. And so,
That's the crazy thing about you because Patino says the same thing, and it's crazy how good you are and that you still can get that much better.
yeah, exactly. Like you learn a lot, and you're able to produce at a high level for your team, and like when you reflect on it back, you're like, man, like I if I if like when you start training and stuff like that, like and you think back, you're like, dang, if I were able to do this in college, things might have looked even more scary, you know? And so um yeah, for sure, I had a good year, and I still just think there's so much more for me to grow into.
Hmm.
That's what people I don't think a lot of people even know that.
What were some of the things he worked on with you after your freshman year, before your sophomore year?
Um a lot of shooting, a lot of getting my form right, my balance. That was a big thing, shooting, and also a lot of post stuff, a lot of face up stuff too. Especially from like the elbow, like mid post area, working on like some of those areas that you probably maybe have seen like me work with, and in a game like driving by defenders, taking them off dribbles and stuff like that. We did a lot of stuff together on that, and yeah, to help me build my confidence to be able to attack from those areas.
Do you think that's honestly one of the biggest differences between coaches you really connect with? Because I mean, I know that there's the whole tear you down mentality, but do you just think that especially at an 18 to 22-year-old, you just really need to build that confidence because you have the ability at someone believing in you?
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people. You see, we get recruited out of high school, and you get recruited out of high school to go play Division I basketball. So, I don't know the percentages, but I know there's a small amount of people that actually get to play Division I basketball
Mm.
out of blank how many basketball players in the country. Only a small percentage go to a D1 school,
Mm.
and so you get recruited to go to a D1 school, and boom, right off that, right away, that should already be an indicator that dang, I might be pretty good at this game.
Mm.
And so, a lot of people, when you get in, everybody's on the same level as a freshman. Everybody's trying to fight for the same spots, this and that, and that's when your confidence is really high because you coming in with the mindset of, okay, like I can earn this spot by working as hard as I can, showing what I can do, right? And then obviously, sometimes things might not go your way, and you might not get that spot. So people start to lose confidence and stuff like that, and start to lose confidence in their ability on what to do on a floor. And honestly, as a young kid at our age, like you said, between 18 and 22, that's like the best. This is like the perfect time to like to be that confident player in yourself, because a lot of doors and opportunities can open up for you. Um, especially when a coach believes in you, that should even be able to boost your confidence even higher. Because without any type of confidence, you can't be a great basketball player. You need to have
Mhm.
confidence. You need to have that confidence to take that shot, or to get to the basket, or shoot those clutch free throws that you need to put your team up by 2 with a second left. You have to have confidence to be able to be a great basketball player. That's like the biggest thing to me. I think that's honestly the most important thing. You could be the most talented person in the world, but if you're not confident in your ability, you're really not that good, because you don't think you can do it, but you really can. You just gotta think you can do it.
Absolutely. So I'm guessing, speaking of confidence, you've been watching The Last Dance, right?
Yeah.
So what do you, I mean, what are your thoughts on Jordan? I mean, some people think he's too hard on people, other people, and he obviously said, I didn't expect anything of anyone that I didn't do for myself. So is he just like your ultimate confidence mentor? Like, or who do you look up to the most?
Who I looked at the most was Kobe Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
and he was obviously similar to Michael Jordan in the aspects of their mentalities and their leadership qualities, and basically they're similar in a lot of ways, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows. Um, and watching The Last Dance, I basically the last episode, what I took away from that was what he said, that he never asks his teammates to do something he didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I understood that, because basically he's saying that I set the standard. Whenever we're running sprints, I touch every line. So if you don't touch a line, I get on you about it. You
Mm-hmm.
can't say that I didn't do it, because I'm doing it, or I'm lifting hard, or I'm doing this and that, or I'm going 100%. And I just it makes you appreciate the game even more, that someone like that played our game, where they were
Mm-hmm.
willing to compete at the highest level, no matter where it was at, in practice or in the game, and it was trying to hold his teammates to that same level of standard as also.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I've watched, I think, every episode at least twice. It's been so fantastic, and just reliving that
Yeah,
whole era. Plus, we don't have sports now. So it's like the only thing we have too.
yeah, facts, cool.
Yeah. So sorry, going back to building that confidence, what does playing with a player like Jordan Murphy do? I mean, did you learn a lot from him? Was there a lot of competition? I know he's kind of more of a softer spoken guy, a quiet guy, but knowing that you were coming in, committing and playing the same position of one of the greatest Gophers of all time, I mean, was that a big draw for you?
Um, yeah, because Murph was a great player. It's a great player for you. And I honestly was excited to get to work and to compete against him, compete against Eric Curry, um, compete against my fellow freshman Jarve.
Mm-hmm.
I think that year we had a really good core of big men. Um, we had I think 4 or 5 solid guys that would come into the game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we had Murph, we had me, we had Eric, we had Jarvis, we had Mott Stockman.
Yep.
So the front line was crazy. Um, and just being able to compete against Murph every day in practice, that got me. I think that helped me a lot, because I feel like my first ever, like, whoa, like, welcome to the Big Ten moment was we had played Ohio State as our first Big Ten game, and they crushed us. And I was just like, the physicality of that game was crazy. To this day, I played Ohio State 3 times in my career at the U. I think 3 times. 3 times. To this day, I've never been satisfied with one performance against them. I've never been happy with with any game I played against them. I've always been mad at how I played, but it's only them though. I don't know why. Just they're great. They're a great team. But
But that win this year, though,
you
I mean,
know,
when they're number 3 in the nation, you still weren't happy about that?
I was happy about the win for sure. But from a personal standpoint of how I played, I didn't think I could. I thought I could have played way better.
Mhm.
And then we played them a second time. We won that game too because Marcus at the game winner. That was the best. That honestly was the best game I've seen all year, or I've been a part of all year. That was really fun because we fought all the way back from being down by like double digits, and then like maybe 11 or 12, we came back and had the last shot. We won it off that shot, and so it was awesome. So like, yeah, that's like a particular play where like Marcus is so confident in what he does. He had the confidence to take a shot like that, and he nailed it.
Yeah. So what have you guys talked about? Because obviously he's testing the waters of the draft. Have you guys talked a lot? Have you kind of commiserated through like this struggling time? What's your relationship been like with him?
Marcus is like my brother. He's a wonderful teammate, great dude. Haven't talked to him that much about what he's thinking about with the draft and stuff like that. But whenever I talk to him, we mostly just talk about like nothing sports related. Just hope seeing how everybody's doing. Hope the family's doing good, and just trying to stay safe out here.
Absolutely. What is your favorite Richard Pitino story?
My favorite Richard Pitino story? I'm not really sure. There's a lot of funny moments, a lot of good moments, a lot of not so good moments. But
let's actually hear the worst one then. What do you mean by not good moments?
When you're like a freshman, you make a boneheaded mistake, and then the coach just gets after you. I'm just trying to think of a particular time, my freshman year, but something like that. Nothing like crazy or like concerning or anything like that. Just Coach Pitino being a coach. You put your freshman in the game, he does something dumb, and you want to get after him for doing it. And then after he gets after you, it makes you go back into the game and not do the same mistake again. So, give a lot of appreciation towards Coach P for even throwing me into the fire and believing in me.
Yeah,
that I could do what I could do. It takes a lot to play a freshman right away, and he did that for me. And I think that helped me for my game too. Playing and starting right away as a freshman.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, not many guys get that much playing time. And I think it also gave Gopher fans confidence in the fact that after Murph graduated that we would have you and you'd be able to take over that role as well.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, I think we're going to do rapid fire now. So first of all, who is a better recruiter, you or Ben Johnson?
I'd say Ben Johnson, honestly. I think Ben Johnson stayed. We could have got a lot more in-state guys. Even when for sure.
Do you give him credit for Gabe and Jarvis, or do you get credit for those guys?
I get credit for those guys, honestly, because actually I'm a better recruiter than Ben Johnson because I got Gabe and Jarvis to come to school at the U, 100%. I was the driving force. They seen me, their pulley teammate. They were down to come. They saw all the love I was getting from the home state fans and the people supporting me and the Gophers, and they was like, "Yeah, I need some of that too." So boom.
Well, we're very grateful. We wish you could stick around and still recruit some guys because we could definitely use some in-state guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, you know what? Going back from rapid fire, why do you think that because you guys were kind of the last class that decided to stay home. Why do you think that these other guys are not making that same decision?
I don't know what the particular reason is, but I know for a fact that when you're getting recruited, you want to make the best decision as possible on where you think you can be the most successful at. And I think that's basically what these kids are doing. They're thinking about, they're thinking about like the opportunity of playing here at the U. But then they're also thinking about what's really the best situation for them. A lot of in-state kids like myself have the dream of playing in the NBA, and so like they're trying to find a school and a coach where they think they'll put them in that best position as possible to be successful. And a lot of people here in the state can't be upset with that because, these are 17 and 18-year-old kids making the biggest decision of their lives. And, if the Gophers are in their future, doesn't mean you still can't root for them because they're still here. They're from Minnesota. But even though they go to Marquette and stuff like that, or like Gonzaga, or like just the different schools, or UNI, I don't know, Iowa, blah. Like you gotta, I feel like even Iowa, I feel like or Wisconsin, I feel like people gotta, if you're a Minnesotan, then yeah, Minnesotans different and playing in different states representing Minnesota, you should be able to root for them, regardless if I'm wearing maroon and gold.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you tell a player if they were on the fence about staying home or not? What about your experience at Minnesota?
Um, what I would say is, if you're trying to go to the league, like, look, it's not impossible to go to the league from Minnesota. You know, um, you get to play here in front of your family and friends. The amount of friends and family I had come to my games is like, it was just fire. It was, it was awesome. But if I was telling a kid, honestly, truthfully speaking, I'd tell him, like, look, like, you get to play in front of your fam. Your friends can come to whatever game they want. You're playing it from literally, I think, the best crowd in the Big Ten, best home advantage. Okay, I'm gonna be realistic though. Honestly, we're probably top three. Us, Michigan State, Purdue. I think when we're live and rocking, the barn is definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, um, you're playing at the barn, an historic arena. Think about it, the barn is so old. Like, so many great players have played through that same arena. And so you get to play in front in a historic arena with somewhere with history, and ultimately Coach B gonna let you rock out. That's what I'll say. He's gonna put you in the right position. He's not gonna you know he's gonna do whatever he can to help you grow as a player. And so if you're looking for all those things, then the Gophers are the way to go.
Absolutely. I love that answer. So back to the rapid fire now. Who is the most athletic teammate that you have?
Probably Josh Mercer or BJ Greenlee.
Okay. Who's the funniest teammate?
That I ever had it like this season.
Anytime in your Gopher career.
Probably Eric Curry, Amir Coffee, and Isaiah Washington.
Uh-huh.
Isaiah Washington might be the funniest person I ever met in my life, honestly speaking.
That's huge accolades.
Man, he's hilarious. But yeah, those three for sure. No order though, no order.
No order. Okay. Who do you see joining you in the NBA and having a pro career? Who has the best chance of getting to that level?
Um, I mean, Amir's already there. Um, Definitely Marcus will. I think Gabe will. I think Gabe will because he's so hardworking that he's gonna work himself and stay in the league for a long time. Honestly, I think Marcus will because he's a talented point guard. And teams are always looking for point guards, so he plays a great position that is needed in the NBA.
Yeah.
And so um, those two, and I think Jarvis and Mercer with hard with a more polished game because he has physical attributes to play in the NBA. He has a great vertical. He has a great body. I just think he needs to maybe add a little certain things to his game, and maybe things might work out where he can actually have an opportunity to play in the NBA someday too.
Yeah.
And I think Isaiah Enon has potential too. I think Trent Williams will too. I think a lot of my teammates have that ability and opportunity with just the right hard work and the right opportunity. They'll be able to showcase what they can do for NBA teams.
Who is the
I
hardest
have
work?
that confidence.
What was that?
No, I was just gonna say I have a lot of confidence in all my teammates.
It sounds like it. You named almost all of them, so you definitely have the love for them.
Mhm.
uh,
No, for real, for real.
yeah. Who's the hardest working?
Definitely Gabe Kalsher. Because Gabe comes in early every day, leaves the last at night, and he's someone that I look up to when it comes to that.
That's great to hear. Who is the toughest opponent you had? Somebody that you could go the rest of your life and never want to guard them again.
I don't think there's anybody like that, but that I would never want to guard. But I'll guard anybody no matter what. Even if they have 50 on me, I'll guard them the next game.
Who's
Um,
the toughest though?
the toughest guy that I played against this year, or even in my Gopher career, was definitely had to be Luka Garza.
Mhm.
Luka Garza, or yeah, just him. Honestly,
Yeah.
he was the only person like in the Big Ten now is like, no matter what you do, he's giving you 20 at least.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's a buck. He's a tough player. He's a great player. And so, like, literally, I was every game when we didn't play him. Every game I was watching, I could bet money he was really called getting at least 20 and 10. Dude was nice. He's super nice. So definitely guards the best player I ever played against in
Okay.
college.
Last question I have for you is what would your any last message to Gopher fans for supporting you or things you want to just kind of tell your fans before you head on to the next level?
I just appreciate the fact that being here from Minnesota, Gopher Nation embraced me and treated me like their own. They care. They root. They not even just myself, but also for me and Jarvis. They always Jarvis and Gabe will obviously continue to be at the U next year, but and get cheered on. But they cheered us on. They rooted for us. And from the minute we played our first game to the last when I played to my last game ever, they stuck by us through the thick and thins. We were able to go to NCAA tournament, win the game in the NCAA tournament. So that usually doesn't. That's something that people want to see more here around Gopher country, Gopher Nation. Gold country. And so I want to say what I would say if I was speaking to a large group of Gopher fans would be, just thank you for all the continued support and the best wishes, because even though I'm not coming back, a lot of people still show me a lot of love for even being here and playing here, and so just I'm okay. A continued amount of thank yous and always Gopher. Once a Gopher, always Gopher, for sure.
I love that. That's a great way to end. Well, we all wish you the best of luck. We can't wait to follow your career at the next level. And thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.